Hi, Sharon Davis here. Welcome back to my channel. On this last Sunday in April, hope you're having a wonderful, blessed day. I'm continuing from one of my babies. I can't come to work because I have to babysit my house, stealing electricity. Author, yours truly. Illustrator, yours truly. I've given you the context of what was happening, of the shock of discovering people are stealing your electricity and you are therefore involved with them without you wanting to be or knowing that you are. Anyone reading this, especially my adult children, had no idea of the circumstances. Like most adults and seniors whose grown children have left the city, I don't tell them 3/4 of what occurs. I'm telling you. People of low regard want your son to come back and fight your battles. They want your daughter to return. Conveniently, this season of toxicity has made it clear that I can handle it. I call the police and any other authority that I pay taxes to or that I feel should protect me as a senior. My assumption is always that they're waiting for my children to visit so they can relay the message to their associates and thereby cause harm. Someone once said, once you leave Chicago, don't come back, especially to young people. I don't know about it in any other zip code a few miles over, but here, staying by yourself can cause speculation and gossip and anger. Good Lord, this headphones coming in, headphones going out. Like my mother used to say, really egg people to get along. Okay, this is chapter 2. I call it bearish head and shoulders. When I was learning the stock market 5 years ago, my love of words propelled me to encapsulate some of the more figurative languages in my books. There's been disastrous fires in the news lately. Not that I needed confirmation of the hazard posed when I Googled and saw the dangers of appliances overheating and fires due to the hapless, unprofessional connections. It is, of course, a criminal act because of all this. My insomnia and angst intensified, as well as my anger and ire. I understand now how people can attempt to destroy you and then stand back in faux awe and presume ignorance of what's going on. And this is so timely. A condolence to the family of the fire captain that died in the fire. said by an arsonist. Rest in peace and thank you for your service. And in fact, a couple of years ago, I began to question how many fires are really crimes. People connecting to your electricity, people starting the fire purposely, people getting back at another person that said they don't care if the place burns down, things of that sort. Fortunately, for decades, my prayers and sentiments is that I am blessed going out and blessed coming back in. My status represents the least served demographic, being Black, female, senior, poor, divorced. Forget the rehabbers and gentrification processors. The persons of your own neighborhood salivate for your property, especially your relatives. I perceive this as a personal attack to frighten another elder, single, retired Black woman from her house. A lot of times God will permit you to hear your enemy's plans. This part of the chapter is titled, All Your People Dead. 2 years ago, in the spring of the beginning of the pandemic, their normal gathering of a yard full of people sitting and positioned toward my doorway was in full sway. I am a single baby boomer who lives alone. In some neighborhoods and with many people, it evokes the latent bullying and intimidation. At one point, the quote male individual barked toward me as I took out my phone. Who you gonna call? All your people dead. In reference to my mother, nephew, uncle, and others who had died a few years before within months of one another. I was impressed with his hate and courage. As a parent, as a member of a family, I could never say or even think such a thing, lest it befall me. Just wow. God lets you know your enemy's plans for you and also their IQ. When the other, quote, male, unquote, individual says smirkingly that they would have my house too, as well as their own, I pivot, went to my computer, and checked the status of my void card. This day, a few days before Memorial Day, I made the decision to remove my 2 garbage containers and put them in my driveway, which is the prelude to the words he had said. My house is located alongside the alley in their perpetual use. Excuse me. Of several containers involves not closing the lid, accumulated smelly trash in the alley, and all manner of filth which during a downwind made it impossible for me to sit on my porch or have my windows open to face in that direction. excuse me, solving the problem and mindful of the nature of poor hygiene in such time of COVID. God gave me the idea to put my two cans in my yard and to bring them out only on garbage days, which are Tuesday. Excuse me. It was perfect because frequently all 7 cans were full, and though my address was clearly inscribed, they always decided to fill mine up first. It wasn't even a microaggression. It was obvious. Times you take your garbage out, there'd be no place to put it, so you more or less had to bring it back into the house. Bored? I know. I can't believe how filth and trash has become what I talk about. I send photos and messages to the city sanitation department in case a wrongful violation was incurred for this house again. Being on a fixed income and working part-time, a $500 ticket is major. Like many Chicagoans, paying off parking and red light tickets ate up a chunk of your salary. Anyway, getting back to this illustrious day, 2 of their little boys jumped in the empty trash receptacles. I kid you not, and seemed in the process of pushing them out into the street. While the family of dozens in the yard, the 2 children were within inches of being in the street. I opened my front door and said, "Get out of those garbage cans," and closed the door. All the adults and children on this weekday of spring began cursing and throwing toward my yard paper and items inside my front door. The takeaway was the young teen male that when I'm gone, that they're going to have my house too. And even as a baby boomer, the quote male of the house and the teen indicated I was quote hot, and they would do me along with some of the quote females unquote high-fiving in agreement. Perhaps this was intended as a come on their planet. The teen quote male unquote indicated that I should have a man that should be sweeping in front of my mouth, in front of my house. And did I want him to do it? One of the most preposterous things I've ever heard. My garbage cans have been in my yard, which I have locked and gated ever since. Thank you for listening, and let me know if you'd like to write a book or if there's something that's happened in your life you'd like to chronicle or journal. Have a blessed afternoon. Be safe.